In the Diamond Lane, you just heard the playing of Artyom Dervoed, a regular performer on some of the world's most prestigious stages. He makes his Winnipeg debut tomorrow, opening the Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society's International Artist Series. Artyom has first joined me in the Diamond Lane. Good afternoon.
Hello.
And welcome to Winnipeg.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We're just chatting off the air. You're in the midst of your first Canadian tour. Is that right?
It is. I did record my first CD on Naxos with the Russian guitar music in 2007.
Yeah.
But since then, I've never been here.
Well, welcome back. Glad that you're playing. Did you just come in from Victoria?
From
Is
Victoria,
that right?
yeah. The tour is Victoria, Winnipeg, Calgary, Waterloo, Toronto. And then this is the final concert in Toronto, in Canada. And then I go to Chicago, then to Beirut, and then back to Russia, then to Munich. And it's going to take 1 month. I'll be there back home at the beginning of November.
Well, it sounds like you're in the midst of quite the tour. I just really want to talk just a little bit about you and your background, because I mean, of course, we just heard a little selection from your latest disc, right? This is the 2015 release.
Yeah, it's 2015.
Yeah, the latest one, Ghosts and Shadows, Music of Spain, and of course, we equate the guitar with Spanish composers. I know there are some great Russian guitarists out there, but I'm curious, how did you get your start on the guitar?
I don't know, just I always wanted to be a guitarist.
Really?
That's the thing. I was 6 years old and I asked my parents to take me to the music school to study guitar.
Do you remember why that was?
Yeah, well, I think there was a very famous person on the TV everywhere there, but he was not classical. He was not guitarist.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, chanson singer. Vladimir Vysotsky. He was a big star there, and I think some influence I've got from this personality. And then my elder brother, he's 10 years older than me. He brought the guitar once. He wanted just to play some Led Zeppelin songs or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was so curious. Oh, well, I want to try. And I wasn't allowed to touch the guitar because he was afraid I'm going to break it.
Yeah, like a good younger brother, right?
And one day he decided, okay, do what you want. And I remember that evening, I was so happy to plug those crazy sounds out of the guitar. And that evening I asked my parents, I want to be there. I want to play guitar. I want to study guitar.
Well, and thankfully you did. I mean, you've become a trailblazer in the guitar. The first Russian to win two of the most prestigious guitar contests in the world, the Michele Pitaluga, and then Her Royal Highness Princess Christina competition in Spain. I mean, that's really remarkable, thinking back to those quick chords of Led Zeppelin and how it's changed from there.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on this. I mean, you touched on how busy you are traveling the world over. Have there been any really memorable performances that come to mind when you think back?
Oh, of course. The performances in the big halls, important halls like, I don't know, Philharmonie Hall in Köln, or like Carnegie Hall performance, or in Düsseldorf, the Tonhalle. I always remember that. I think one of the most stages which impressed me was in Köln. The Kölner Philharmonie is a huge hall, like, I don't know, like 2,500 seats inside, and the stage is in the middle, so you are surrounded by public. And I do remember that feeling when you get into the hall and you're surrounded by this clapping from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's so loud, and it's so intense. I still remember it.
Oh, that's really cool. I was reading through your bio, and one of the other ones that really caught my eye was your collaboration with Mikhail Pletnev.
Yeah.
And you did a live broadcast as well.
Yeah.
Thinking back to the chanson singer, you're doing the same thing. I mean, that's really cool.
It's on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, by the way.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, we'll be sure to tweet it out after that, after the conversation. So I want to touch on this debut here in Winnipeg. What can you tell us about the program that you've crafted for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a very interesting program. It's dedicated to Niccolò Paganini, and well, everybody knows that he was a huge violinist.
He was a big deal.
Number one, still number one. But no one heard it. But people usually don't know that he was a guitarist as well.
He was. I know you've written on that.
Yeah,
a fair bit.
So the thing is, he never performed as a guitarist, but he wrote a lot of music for guitar. He loved the guitar, and for guitar solo, for chamber ensembles with the guitar, and he also played some chamber music with the guitarist, but not being performing live.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I decided to show that connection between classical guitar and the violin, that it's friendship. It's something really, it happened really long ago. And also many big names also really loved the guitar. So the first half is the Paganini music and the music of his friend Luigi Lignani. And people say that they used to be friends and used to play some music together. And the second half is about music. The composers who was inspired with the name of or music by Paganini. So it's Rodrigo, Tedesco. Tedesco is Capriccio Diabolico, and it has also two themes of Paganini, which is from Grand Sonata and from Campanella,
which you're going to hear in the first half, the Grand Sonata.
This is a separate thing. The Campanella on the guitar is a little bit separate thing. And the Possessed. The Possessed is a piece by contemporary American composer. He lives in Seattle. He actually was visiting me in Victoria.
Oh, really?
Just to hear me play his music.
Yeah, that's Kevin Callahan, right?
Kevin Callahan. The Possessed. It's also it's dedicated to Paganini. It's written for me. I asked him. I need a piece with a connection with the Paganini, and hey, it's wonderful contemporary music.
Did you get to ask him or give him feedback on it?
I commissioned this piece, and it's in 3 movements. It's possessed because the story that Paganini sold his soul to the devil and so on. But he also thinks that I look possessed when I play guitar.
Well, that is really outstanding.
Yeah,
and I mean,
about the Campanella.
Yeah,
Campanella. It's it's a final of the violin concerto number 2 for violin and orchestra, and it's really tough piece. And well, it was my first time I played this piece. It was in Victoria.
Yeah.
And I think it works on the guitar. Of course, it's transcription, and the least transcription for the piano.
You have to leave something out.
He didn't recreate exactly what Paganini wrote. He just did the version. So this is also version. This main transcription made by German Wolfgang Ländle, and I did the rest. So it's also there is my name in the transcription title. I think it should be done on the guitar as well, but it's also I think it's also like for violinists. Maybe everybody can do it, but it's very difficult to do it the way it should be, to make it brilliant, to make it like a easy song.
It's like you're not working at all. It's just it's floating on top, and yet it's so complicated and challenging as a
and
performer.
here on the guitar I just do I play for both. I play for violin, for soloist, and I play for orchestra as well.
Oh, you get to do it all.
Yeah, just to get to hear it.
And you got to go see it in person. Artyom, thank you so much for coming into the studio today.
Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to have you here. So if you want to go see Artyom's devilish playing, as you just heard, you can head to the Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society's 2018-19 International Artist Season Opener. That is tomorrow, Saturday, October 13th, at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Winnipeg, 603 Wellington Crescent. For details, visit winnipegclassicalguitarsociety.com. I'm also going to be giving away some tickets to that a little bit later on. But Artyom, I was wondering if you would mind introducing this work that we're going to hear now. This is a selection from the Sonata Giacoso in A major. Can you tell us a little bit about this work? We're going to hear the final movement.
It's Joaquin Rodriguez composition. It's based on style of Scarlatti a little bit, but with modern flavor of Rodrigo. So it's typical Rodrigo style with some Baroque-based modern Spanish thing, a little bit flavored by flamenco inspiration, you know, something like that. It's typical Rodrigo.
Enjoy the playing of Artyom Dervoed on Classic 107.